Good morning, St. Louis. Hit at 7 a.m. on a Tuesday. So y'all know what time it is. It's time for the St. Louis Hustle Podcast with your boy, CORTEZ Hustle, my girl, Michelle. Hey, and today we're talking all things cryptocurrency, man. What is the truth about all of the noise we're hearing about cryptocurrency? And if it is here to stay, how do we get involved? We got a special guest, Janice Isabel, is going to break it down in layman's terms so you can understand it, do your own research, and then make a decision that's going to be best for you and your family. So it's going down. Do us a huge favor. Comment in the chat where you're from. Drop the name of your business and all your brand and smash that share button, ladies and gentlemen. And let's kick it this morning.
Growing up in St. Louis has never been easy. And most say, if you want to succeed here, that you must leave and put down roots somewhere else because of the strong crabs in a barrel mentality here.
I don't know if I'm just an optimistic person, but to see people like Chuck Berry and Nelly make it in the music industry, or the Roberts brothers and Dave Stewart in business, or William Lacey Clay Jr. in politics, can we blame the city, or is it that people just aren't hungry enough?
We're talking to all of the movers and shakers in this town, from entertainers to politicians, social activists and organizers, and of course, entrepreneurs.
Is there a curse on this city that holds people back? Is there an unseen hand that decides who makes it and who doesn't? You're about to find out.
Welcome to St. Louis Hustle.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the St. Louis Hustle Podcast. I'm CORTEZ Hustle. That's Michelle. Hey. And we are coming to you live and direct from the Thornton Online Marketing Studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. If you are a small local business in the St. Louis metro area and you are looking for more sales opportunities, then that's what we do. Let us fill your calendar with booked appointments and help you make more money in your business. All you got to do is text Local Biz to 314-730-3999 for a free digital marketing consultation. Text Local Biz to 314-730-3999 for a free marketing strategy session. And one of our lead generation specialists will get on the phone with you and see if we can help you. Today we're talking cryptocurrency. Chalet,
man,
how was your weekend, sis?
Woo! Okay, so the weekend was great. It was exciting. It had highs, it had lows, it had excitement. It was like a movie, my weekend was. And so when you probably like, man, what'd she do? Was she sugar shaking? I went out evangelizing with the church.
Okay.
Man, and so, man, you would think, okay, evangelism is not like you would think. It ain't like the older days with people from what's the folk that we used to lock the door on and you get real low and be real still. Like, what's the people up? Jehovah's Witness. It ain't like that. You know, we get out in the community. We really try to approach people with just a real natural approach. We ain't trying to hit them in the head and drag them to the cross. That ain't fun, right? We're not doing that. But what do you do when you're on the south side and you're over here trying to, do you know the Lord? And then all of a sudden a fight break out. It's like, what I do? Do you run to it? It's like a firefighter. Do you run to the fire or away from the fire? Well, let me tell you something, okay? Let's knock down the myths right now.
Just because influence church, break it down for us.
Well, let me put my disclaimer, because now I'm on blast. You say, how we doing the influence? Well, still learning how they do it. I did it. I'm gonna tell you how we did it at the Michelle A. way. I ain't running to the fire.
Tabernacle of love.
Right, the Michelle A. Tabernacle, Faith Tabernacle of Love, Rough Missionary Baptist Church. We didn't run into the fire, okay? I was paired with this nice Caucasian lady, and my other two ministry partners was across the street, and the fight broke out. We was like, do we help? Is this a time for the Bible? What do we do? We just kind of stood there and watched it all unfold. It was a couple young ladies, and they was getting busy with it. It was like, somebody should call the police. Do we video this? What is it? I'm learning, and I love to be humble. And in my walk, I've always been that way. I ain't know whether I was like world star. I ain't know what to do. I ain't know what to do. So we just kind of let that thing blow over. Then we went in And it actually turned out well because the young lady that was ministered to, she was kicking up a lot of dust because the other two girls was 2-on-1. The other ones drove off, and no fists. There was no fisticuffs. But the young lady, the two young ladies pulled off. One young lady was in her car. She was sobbing. And so when we went in to minister, she said, why would y'all, I just acted a fool. Why would y'all even want to try to sell me Jesus right now, the way I just acted?
Right.
And that is the golden moment. That was the golden moment right there. She was in a place of unworthiness because of her actions. And it was a wonderful opportunity to remind her, boo, we human. You know, it was a situation that happened, but you know what? There was something that drove that. So it was a wonderful ministry opportunity. Again, I ain't know what's about to happen. I was about to run up in the dollar store. I ain't know. People don't just fight no more. So, but it was a good time.
It was that something though, how we feel that unworthiness, and it's like, you know, you know, Jesus didn't come for the well people. He came for the sick people. He came for the people who were hurting. It would like the right people that were doing it right. He didn't come back for them.
Right.
He come back for the wretchedness like myself.
Right. Right. I'm a little ratchet, but I promise I'm saved. I promise I'm really saved. But it was a good time. So I guess to answer your question, how does influence do it? We wait for the smoke to die down, then we move in on the wounded, and it worked out. It worked out. So that was the high point of my weekend. That was the high point of my weekend. Now, what about you? What y'all get in? What you and Sugar get into this weekend?
I actually took my nephew to the Cardinals game on Saturday.
Really?
So, yeah, got a chance to see them boys put in some work. They were hitting like it was nobody's business, man. So it was a good experience. My son, my nephew, I lost my baby brother in '96. So I kind of been trying to step in the gap and as much as I can. But you know, when you got 5 kids of your own, it's sometimes hard to find time. So he had a birthday on the 5th. So he's like, Uncle, I want to go to a hockey game. And he calls me Uncle still to this day, like he ain't pushing 30. But nevertheless, I want to go to a hockey game. So, yeah, I don't know about that. Nephew,
right.
But the hard is home opening weekend is this weekend. We go to baseball.
Let's do that.
So that's what we did this weekend. We got a chance to go hang out and watch the Cardinals kick some butt. And the tickets that we got were really good. We were up the first base line. We were really close.
Nice.
But, you know, in the new stadium, some of the parts of the stadium are shaded. It wasn't that warm on Saturday, Michelle.
Ooh,
so I was waiting on the sun to come on across that thing, and it never made it. It didn't like Cedric Entertainer said about Luther's curl. It didn't curl all the way. The sun didn't come all the way over the stadium where we were sitting. So we were freezing our butts off, but it was a good experience for him. So
sounds like fun.
It was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. But we're going to talk cryptocurrency with Janice Isabel, and I want to really have this conversation because it's a fun one to have. There's a lot of misinformation out there about the crypto. There's a gazillion and one coins that you can invest in. So we're going to bring her on before Michelle's word of the day. So let me introduce to some of y'all and present to others, Janice. Janice, I'm gonna get it right. Janice Isabel to the building. Janice, good morning. How are you?
Hi, great rising to you guys. How you doing?
We are doing well. So every episode of the St. Louis Hustle podcast, Michelle does a word of the day. She brings us a word from on high most of the time. Sometimes that word comes from underneath. But nevertheless, we're going to get a word. I don't know what the word is going to be. So we're going to get the word from the day, and then we'll get your formal introduction. And we're going to talk this crypto talk. And we're going to do what it do. Great. So let's get into Michelle A. word of the day.
And now the Michelle A. word of the day.
Hey, what's up, party people? It is your girl, Michelle A. And I am back at you again with another A word of the day, right? So this past week, pardon me, this past week, self-improvement has been back in my hemisphere, in my brain matter. Self-improvement, self-awareness. My mind's been back on that. And really, that's that kind of thing that you really can't afford to let your mind escape from. It's the kind of thing that we really all need to stay very, very coherent about at all times. Self-awareness is important. So I saw this quote. It was an interesting quote. And it simply said, it wasn't all super spiritual, super saved quote, but it was interesting nonetheless. It says, it's better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. And as I read that, it just really, it's one of the things I had to ponder, stayed with me for a little bit. And it basically is saying, turn the light on, people. Flip the switch. It's that thing. It's a part of the self-awareness process that we really don't like to do, but it's a necessary part that everybody has to take part in, right? And that is self-examination. Sometimes we wonder why the same things keep happening to us or why we go through the same cycles. We don't take the time to investigate. What am I doing that is leading me down the same road? What trends or what habits am I doing that I'm not breaking? So I want to encourage you, flip the switch, light a candle, and so that you could come out of cursing the darkness. Again, we want to break bad habits. We don't want to continue to repeat past mistakes. And one of the ways that you can do that is by self-awareness. You can also get a great self-awareness tool, such as, and I wish I had the book with me, such as my book, Who in the Heck Do You Think You Are? It's the Woman's Guide to Discovering the Key Benefits of Self-Awareness. You can pick that up on Amazon or anywhere online. Actually, just Google me. Google me, people. You can get a hold of that book. But again, turn the light on, come out of that darkness so you're not standing there cursing the dark. Cut the light on and figure out what's going on. That's it, y'all. That's it. That's your Michelle A. Word of the Day.
Awesome.
Boom. That is the Michelle A. Word of the Day. Brought to you by our good friends over at Thornton Online Marketing and the Social Media Consistency Challenge. Some of y'all have trouble being consistent on social media, and I want to help you. All you got to do is text Daily Hustle to 314-730-399. And you know what I'm going to do for you? I'm going to send you an infographic every day to your email box so you don't have to think about what to post. That infographic is also going to have a caption and the hashtags to go with it, so you don't even get to think about what to write. In addition to that, I'm going to provide a short video training on what to do with the content I just sent you every day so you can become more consistent with your social media posting. Again, text Daily Hustle to 314-730-3999. Yeah, I know I'm Mr. Consistency. I'm going to show up in your inbox and say, hey, did you post today? Let's get to it. And that's how it goes down with the Daily Hustle Social Media Consistency Challenge. So we're talking cryptocurrency. What are the truths? What are the myths? What's going on with the blockchain? Is it here to stay? I see the government is all in it now. I'm hearing commercials everywhere I turn. Hey, you can now invest your portfolio in cryptocurrency and we'll take care of the taxes for you. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I thought crypto was anti-government. So we got to get to the bottom of all of this stuff. So make sure y'all share the stream today. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, make sure you share the podcast. Make sure you give us a rating and follow the podcast as well. So we have Janice Isabel with us today. She's an expert in the space, is well studied, and is now consulting people all over the nation, all over the world, really, about the power of crypto and the blockchain and how it works. So Janice, I ask everybody who comes on to the St. Louis Hustle Podcast this one question, so you don't get to escape. I'm going to ask it to you as well. And the question is this: who the heck are you?
Oh, well, that's a very important question. Well, first of all, as you said, my name is Janice Isabel, born and raised in St. Louis. Have a history. My background is medical. Been in the medical field for 38 years, kind of telling my age a little bit. And then in 2014, I decided to start my own business. I was working for a dermatologist here in St. Louis at that time. She was one of the first and only Black dermatologists in St. Louis. So I went underneath her. She kind of mentored me, and she inspired me to start my own business. Started my own business. Fast forwarded to 2017, 2018, took a look into finance, and that's how I landed into this space of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. But I do want to go back, and you said I was going to have a chance to talk about Michelle's word of the day.
Yay! Please do.
So I was listening to what you were saying, sister, and that just fits right in to what we're talking about, because we get so caught up in the rat race and don't want to change our thinking. We don't want to step out on faith. We don't want to take, and you know what they say, the cliche is, it's some person that keep doing the same thing over and over. That's a sign of insanity, correct? So you have to change that. And then you used another powerful word, curse. You know, I'm trying to help people break generational curses.
Come on.
And one of the ways anything that we want to do and change, it always comes down, unfortunately, to finances.
It does.
If you take finances out the way, don't you know people would dream bigger and dream more? But people don't dream because the first thing they're going to say is, how am I financing my dream?
Yep.
So one of my things that I do at my company, JCC, which is JM Consulting for short, I took a hyena because it was focused on abundance, which is health and wealth. So I took a hyena from health and tapped into the finance, because I'm like, even if people want to be healthy, things out here cost to maintain health. It even costs more to eat healthy. So I said, I got to get people the money. I got to help people understand the financial system, our monetary system. So that's when I decided to look into cryptocurrency. And like I was telling CORTEZ early on in an earlier conversation, when I looked into this, Bitcoin was already $13,000 a coin. Okay. So I had missed that boat. I couldn't afford not one coin at $13,000 per coin. So I said, well, let me go and look into this a little further. So I took a trip over to Germany. So yeah, my highly melanated self got on the plane. I went to Germany and I went to this conference. In my mind, I call it a summit, but that's not the title that they actually use. And I learned about assets. I learned about gold, silver. And then they introduced that, hey, we're going to get into the crypto market. And I was looking at this conference now. It was about 300 people from all across the world. Because you got to remember, when it comes to financial freedom and trying to have a better life, it don't matter what color, what race, what religion, your sexual orientation. People are trying to get financially free. People are tired of hurting. So when I heard that, I got back on the plane. I said, I'm coming back home. I got to tell everybody I know about this crypto space. So that's how I started. And then I just went out and started doing my lives and speaking to everybody that I can. And of course, I got those looks. I got my guts knocked out. I got called crazy. I got called, it was a scam, because it's 2017. And I'm the type of person, I'm not going to be, nah, you dumb. You did. No, because I just came into this space in 2017. So I had to ignore the noise because I know my mission was higher. I don't want, that's the problem. Most of us in our culture, and I'm just speaking to our culture at this moment, we miss opportunities for lack of fear. And then sometimes it's the person that's bringing it to them. Because like I say, people know me in St. Louis from, okay, I have my business. They know, oh, she's in the medical field. So when I turned on that camera for the first time and started talking about assets and crypto, they're like,
Because I wish you spoken out.
Where does it all come from? So before we get too deep into it, Janice, I like to really get, when it comes to the hustle, when it comes to this entrepreneurial game, I like to go all the way through the entire journey. I believe it's important. So you talk about your mission. We are kindred spirits in that my mission has always been economic empowerment for the Black community. My goal has shifted to the marketing space to help our Black-owned businesses grow and scale to where we can ultimately become the #1 employer of our people, right? So that's where I'm pushing. But this entrepreneurial journey is important because we got to have enough businesses to provide jobs for our people. So I like to get the story as to how people get into entrepreneurship. So coming out of, give me your young Janice, elementary, middle school, high school. What was upbringing like for you And did you braid hair in school? Did you sell candy? Were you that?
Okay, you want to know about hustle?
Yeah, I
Oh my
want to know,
that authentic
because
one.
everybody gets into the entrepreneurial space from different angles, and I want people to know that no, you don't got to be mad at your boss to want to start a business. Starting a business is just the right thing to do.
Right.
And it's in you.
Right. You know, to be honest, all of us who ever went to an elementary school was taught to hustle. You know why I say that? Sell this candy, get this toy.
Yep.
That was the beginning of the hustle. So I can say it started in elementary school. But fast forward, in high school, I sold all kind of stuff. We used to I went to ROTC. Yeah. I went to Cleveland ROTC. I went to Stowe Middle School on the west side. I'm a west side lady, you know, from the west side. And so starting off in there, then when I got out of high school, went to medical school, I used to sell these things. Oh my God, y'all got me thinking. You remember those things called antibeads back in the day?
Yes.
My niece just posted something, a flashback. So I used to go, it was out there in clay. I used to go get the beads and stuff. See, and not trying to go, I just got to hit this because it's there now. I used to get gold beads. I had real gold. I didn't have none of the stuff they got now. So I used to get, because it was cheap. Because gold wasn't, you know, so I used to go get the beads and stuff and make orders. I did that. Oh my God. I used to have spade tournaments. They asked me for that back in St. Louis. I used to have the biggest spade tournaments in St. Louis. I used to sell all natural pads. Oh my God. I did a show. I did a show for Murphy Lee back 3 or 4 years ago. So I always had that hustle mentality, but I also had that St. Louis hunger that, you know, I was one of the people like, I'm finna go, I'm done. You know, I travel enough to appreciate my hometown. You know what I'm saying? And so as this finance and this wealth coming to fruition for me, I gotta build up my city. I gotta invest in my city. You know what I'm saying? So my hustle, to go back to your question, Cortez, it's been in me for a long time. It's been into me. And then it's the fact too that I'm a people person. I like I'm sociable. I like to see people win. I got that positive. So all that just like a good gumbo. It's just like a good gumbo. So
that's right.
I love it. I love it. You got the right elements, right? You got to be out there and about. You got to be willing to talk to people. All of that stuff come together. So you get out of school, and medical is a profession. Was that always the profession, or was that something that someone said, "Hey, they make all the money over there, so that's what you're gonna be, and you don't got no choice in the matter"? Or is that something you dreamed of as a little girl? Like, I'm gonna be in hospital or a doctor.
I'm gonna be transparent because I can't do nothing but be real. That came as a default. I actually was going to think about going to the Air Force because remember I went to a military school, so I was fascinated with the Air Force. And as I was thinking about that, then SIUE came onto the play too. So I was like, okay, SIUE, didn't know what I was going to go to college for. I was like, oh, I get to leave St. Louis, go be on my own in any scenario. But unfortunately, my mommy didn't talk to me about sex too much, and I was pregnant walking across the stage.
Oh, wow.
So I had my baby after I graduated and went straight to the medical field because I had to make some money. And that was divine intervention. Now that I know that, I didn't know that then, but that wasn't nothing but God put me in a position where I needed to be. So I have no regrets, and I wouldn't change it for nothing in the world.
And this is why we got to get the story, because somebody is pregnant walking across stage this May, and they're thinking my life is over.
Oh no!
Like, there's no way I'm going to be able to get out here and win, toting this baby on my shoulder. There's no way I can go and finish medical school, nursing school, because I got this baby. There's no way I can start a business when I had a baby at 17, 18 years old. That's why I got to get the background, because people need to know that people overcome things to fulfill their mission and discover the calling and work through the mission in their lives. So, man, amazing. So that was the motivation to choose a career that was lucrative financially.
Exactly. And I'm gonna tell you one more thing, since I'm putting it all out there. I don't mind.
Put it out there, girl.
When I had my baby, I was finishing up my internship. I had like a 2-month gap before I was making money, you know. Mm-hmm. And so I said, okay, I'm gonna do what everybody did in the 90s and 80s. I'm gonna go get me a check. Mm-hmm. Maybe I got that check. I asked my mom, she was still alive. So I said, what's this? That check was $234. She said, that's all you get. I said, what you mean, Mama? She said, you get that for the money. I said, the devil's a lie. I said, okay. I am proud to say I received 1 check from the state and 1 check only because I cannot live off of $234. Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Yes. And within the next 3 weeks, I was working at my first job in the medical field.
Gotcha.
Look at that. That's awesome.
No.
Oh, that's driving determination. Yeah. All of that points towards your right now. And it's good that some people settle. There was some folks that was back in the day that was like, ooh, this 234 finna work for me.
Right.
Mm-hmm. There has to be somebody that stands up and says, I want a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly. Yep.
Love it. So first job, got it going. And here's another question that is helpful for me in my research. But Black woman, corporate America. I see you rocking natural now, which probably wasn't as easy to rock, back in the day. What was your experience in corporate America being a Black woman? Black girl magic shows up on the scene, male-dominated field in terms of leadership, right? We know that hospitals and clinics got a lot of females running around, but not in leadership. Did you experience any negativity in that regard in terms of, hey, they won't let me be great around here, or I can't be my authentic self in this place? What was your experience as a Black woman in corporate trying to climb that corporate ladder?
Good question. But I wouldn't say it had a lot to do with my hair. I played the role at this point. I had a relaxer most of my medical career. Inside the hospitals. It was my knowledge. It was just me being Black. I could have had hair down, Brazilian hair glued to my hair down to my butt, or I could have had whatever. It was just the fact that, for one, I was a young woman stepping in territories that, for one, mostly male dominated. And then if you did have females, they were white, and then they was much older. Prime example, I didn't go and get my oriented in the beginning. All right. So back when I started off at St. Louis Comprehensive, it's Murder Hillary Davis, I think it's called now. And then I ended up going to, at that time it was called, we had Barnes on one side and Jewish. Today it's called BJC, but I don't know if you guys remember, it was separated.
Yeah.
So when I got hired there, they take you through their training process. So I had learned everything from catheters, IVs, and everything. Now I still didn't have my license. At the end, they put me on my floor and stuff like that. And to make a long story short, they said, okay, we showed you this underneath our Barnes or Jewish, but we're not obligated to pay you the money you deserve because you didn't go and pay a student loan for this amount. I just had certifications. I didn't have those licenses. So that was a wake-up call for me. So I stayed there as long as I could. I found out that particular, because I was on a colon cancer orthopedic floor, because of my brilliance and my smartness, they put me there, but it was a depressing floor. I didn't stay there long because there were people was coming towards the end of their terminals and stuff like that. So it was a heavy floor. So I was protecting my spirit even back then. So I left there and did a couple of places. Like I said, I worked for the dermatologist in her office is what made me want to switch over to corporate, to finance, to the money, because we was getting to the money there. I said, okay, let me see how this money side of the medical field. I did outpatient surgery. I did the patient care. Let me get to the money. And that's when I think I got most of my resentment. Because once again, I didn't go and get my bachelor's degree until the end of my medical career. I didn't go get that until 2009. So all this time, I'm just going with a certification, but I got the knowledge because I learned on the job and I'm quick on my feet and I pick up on things. So when I got to, I'm not going to name all the hospitals because that's a bad taste, but I went to another hospital in St. Louis and I was on a financial advisory team. I was on a building team and stuff like that. And they was doing things old school. When I got this position, it was a welcome. Any new idea, because they saw my resume, they saw my experience, they saw my endurance, they saw my drive. They're like, oh, that's somebody that's going to help us out. So when I got in there and I met the board, it was all welcome. Any ideas you bring, we're welcome to it. All that fluff. About 2 months in, I'm back there, I'm going through stuff and getting reports, and I'm like, ooh, this can go a lot better if we do this. Oh, this can get approved for this medical procedure if we do this. And I went to my supervisor and told her, some changes that I can recommend. Because the thing is, you don't go to a boss or a manager complaining if you don't have a solution.
Right.
That part.
That's key. People complain all day long, but what's the solution? I heard all this. So I had that mentality. She liked it and like, oh, this is going to save much time. We don't have to hire another person. Come to the board meeting. Let this sit down. She mentioned some of it, and the board was like, okay, let's do it. She took credit for it. Then when I brought up, hey, didn't I? But no, you recommended, but I make, just all that fluff. So I just moved aside and sat there. And this is how to get to. 2 weeks later, Miss Isabel, I need you in my office. You clocked in 2 minutes late this day. Another 2 days later, you was on a call too long, or you was on just starting to nitpick. So I felt where it was going, and I respectively resigned and went somewhere else. So that's in a nutshell. I had like only 2 or 3 of those incidents, but those were the things that I was met with when I went from patient care to the corporate side. But it just made me stronger. Everything just made me stronger.
That's it. And I think people, I asked that question because I'm trying to get to the bottom. We know Black women are the fastest growing population of entrepreneurs in the world, right? Absolutely. So I'm like, what's driving this? And I know it has a lot to do with overworked, underpaid, and tired of code switching, not being valued, and all of that stuff. As I'm listening to women talk, and I'm like, okay, I see why you just like, forget it. I'm just gonna go ahead and start my own thing. So speaking of starting that own thing, tell everybody what is crypto and blockchain.
Please.
Okay. So basically, cryptocurrency in a nutshell is just digital currency. It's paper, it's numbers on the screen. Okay. But let me back up. I think this is the most important thing that people need to understand about cryptocurrency. Unlike fiat currency, unlike our paper dollars, our euro, the Federal Reserve in other countries can print and print and print because it's just paper. It's not real money. It gives value because you and I and the government, everybody else agrees money. Everybody agrees a 5 is a 5, a 10 is a 10. We all understand that. So it's no limitation. The government can write a check and print and print and print. With cryptocurrency, when a company or a person say, hey, I'm going to get into this digital currency, they come up with something that's called a white paper. For my note takers, I'm going to say a couple of keywords you write down, you can research on your own. They come up with something called a white paper. A white paper is almost like a contract saying, hey, I'm going to come up with this currency, but they have to let them know how many coins are you going to produce. So you see the difference? In cryptocurrency, it's a set amount of currency and it's no more. Fiat currency is unlimited. So that's one thing that you just need to focus on for real. To understand that crypto is a set amount. So just like Bitcoin, the one that everybody's familiar with now, is trendy, and understand it was only 16 billion coins ever in existence. So anything that's rare, what does it do? It goes up in value. Okay. So cryptocurrency is just digital currency, non-paper. And we actually are already in some type of form of current digital currency because everybody and their mama got what? A debit and a credit card. Is that paper money? It's just digits on the screen. This cryptocurrency, they had been already thinking about this maybe 20 years ago. It's been people already starting this up. And so in 2009, when Bitcoin came on the scene, it was only like 1% trending. Just like the late Nipsey Hussle, he went to Amsterdam back in 2017. I kind of shared that. And he was trying to educate the people on, hey, this cryptocurrency is the new thing. You know what I'm saying? So it was just the fact that we didn't have the masses at that time. You know,
Right.
so now we got the masses. So now we got to do a lot of education. But cryptocurrency is it's just digital currency. You can spend it, you can liquidate it, you can trade it, and everything. People are like, okay, well, how do I spend it? You just like you spend your money from your bank account on your debit card, your cryptocurrency bank account with some. I got to speak from my project without throwing no names out. But you got a debit card, you spend your cryptocurrency just like you do your fiat currency. You want that fiat currency, you take that card with your cryptocurrency in it. You on your phone, you switch it. I'm gonna switch it from US dollars to whatever cryptocurrency, or from cryptocurrency to US dollars. Go to the ATM. I need $300 in cash. You withdraw your cash. You use it just like any other monetary system.
I have a question.
Absolutely.
So is Bitcoin considered a cryptocurrency?
Yes, privately owned cryptocurrency, because Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, and now since with Biden signing that executive order on the 9th, you got something called digital currency. So when he came out and did that, it kind of confused people. So I want to make it clear. Cryptocurrency is usually private owned by people or companies. Digital currency is that new currency that Biden them signed into order that they're going to be implementing in it soon. Right now they're doing like a test pilot and trying to see how it works, because the government won't end. The government knows that. Go ahead.
So it's still part of, and I'm so sorry, I'm just getting excited. This is rare. I'm getting excited about numbers. Ugh, I'm scared. So the deal that Biden done, that was the government's way of buying into that. But
Not
traditional, no,
they're not buying in it. So let me say that again.
Okay.
Trying to compete with.
Compete.
It's
Okay,
right.
to compete.
There you go. And digital currency.
So they're getting in the game.
Right, exactly. Digital currency is going to be going through your banking system. They're going to slide it in there. Like I said, this is so much. You have to break this up in segments. But that's going to be their form of currency. You got crypto, because see, theirs is not called crypto. Theirs is called digital. So you get crypto that's privately owned by companies or people. Now, this is the kicker. This is the important point. That's why I did a live after that. The digital currency that's going to be ran through your bank, the government is going to control it 100%. Because you got to remember, the government ought to always control you. Cryptocurrency, you control it. You got something called a privacy key. You got the information to your wallet. So you can move around. It's decentralized. You can move it and change it, exchange. I can send you millions. I can do what I want. But digital currency, you're not. Just like the banks are already controlling what we can do. You only can come in here from 9 to 5. You only can get $300 to $500 off the ATM at a time. We shut down at 5. If you ain't in here, you can't get in ATM, you can't get your money. That's a bowl of crap. This is 2022. Them days is over. You know what I'm saying? But once people get forced, if this pilot work, which it is, he calling it a pilot now. But once it gets into motion, and they're gonna do they start smooth when they do things. They're gonna do things that you're not gonna even know it's done. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna send you say, hey Michelle, we're gonna do digital currency with your bank account. Would you sign this release? No, ma'am. You're gonna start getting updates from your bank. Oh, here's the new kind, when you open your account, they give you the paperwork. They're going to slide it in there. Next thing you know, you're on digital currency. Your card is not going to change because that's already digital. And they're going to have control, even more control.
And I think one of the big things is, like you said, crypto is decentralized, meaning the people say what the value of this is.
Exactly.
And that's important. What the government is going to ultimately do is say, hey, y'all want crypto? Okay, we got this digital currency thing. It's the same thing. Just bring all your money over here. Stop fooling around with that crypto. You don't know what's going on with that.
To kind of confuse.
Bring your money on over here, man.
And that's what they want to do.
And they're going to still make unlimited amounts of the digital. They're still going to do fractional banking. For every $1 you put in, they're going to be able to loan out 10. Like, it's the same thing. They're just trying to put themselves in position as if they have a cryptocurrency in the sense.
And can I add something, Cortez?
Yes.
That's why when Bitcoin came out, and over the years, the government kept saying, scam, don't listen to that. They was deterring you from it because they knew the power, because crypto is the people's money, like Cortez was saying. So that's why they was trying to lure you as far away from that. They didn't want everybody to get onto that. So now that it's strict, because why all of a sudden, March 9th of 2022, the Biden said, oh, I'm going to sign this executive order. Why he's so intrigued with digital currency now? Because the masses is waking up. You got people like LeBron James. You got people with high platforms that's speaking on it. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing it everywhere. I had a challenge on my life. I told people, go on your phone, go to Google and Google the closest Bitcoin ATM machine. It's going to be, it's everywhere now. So the government like, okay, they waking up. It used to just be 1%. And it's still only about 12% penetrated. It's still, because if you go and ask the first 5 people you run into, do you know what cryptocurrency is? I guarantee you only one might know. Right. So it's still not heavily adapted, but they gotta stop it because they see the momentum. They see people are taking some of their funds because they see what's going on with the US dollar. Let me diversify. Let me put some of my money in this asset because cryptocurrency is an asset. Anything that goes up in value, down in value, that could be liquidated, traded, bought, sold, it's an asset. Okay. And they don't want us to understand assets. They want us to continue to be consumers, get credit, do that, that. So gotta pay attention. They put everything right there in your face if people will just wake up and pay attention to it.
Talk about the blockchain and that technology, because one of the scary things I think from governments when it comes to the crypto space is because it is decentralized, they can't go to somebody and say how much CORTEZ got in crypto.
Right.
So that's one of the challenges. Is like, wait a minute, there's a lot of crypto millionaires and billionaires out there, and we don't even know. We don't know what they got in those accounts. We don't. Right. And when you have those kind of assets that equal power. So imagine, and I'm gonna use my X-Men analogy. I'm a big X-Men fan. Before the world knew that people were walking around, mutants were walking around with these powers, it's like, man, I don't know what these people can do. The same is true if I got $1 billion in Bitcoin, that gives me a certain amount of power. If the government can't go and look and call the bank and say, how much money does he have in his account? How much assets do he own? They can't go and see that because of blockchain technology. So talk about the blockchain in and of itself and why that is such a good move.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you a synopsis because that's more a lot of technical. So I can give you the whole breakdown of blockchain, but look at it like this. Transactions, every transaction from your account is on a ledger, okay? And then a ledger might hold, one block might hold 30, and this is just me paraphrasing, so don't hold me to every word and every number. Right. Say one block can hold 33 transactions, but each transaction have to go through different checkpoints. So maybe my transaction that I'm going to spend $1,000 got to go through 6 checkpoints, through 6 different. I'm talking about staking now. I'm talking about terms that people don't familiar, but let's say computers. Everybody got to make sure that this is validated, okay? And so each time that's done, it creates a block. Once that block is done, that block cannot be altered. It cannot be manipulated. Then you do another block. So it's kind of like a check and point system to keep everything legit and transparent. How else can I explain? It's a little technical, so you might need. I'm not that much tech on the actual blockchain. I just know that it checks all the transactions. It keeps everything in order. It keeps everything kind of transparent too, where you can research what your transaction with, and it connects everybody. It goes through different systems and something called staking, which I do too. It goes through different computers and things like that.
But it's secure so that I don't think the government is going to have this, because with this, so at the end of the day, you start the day with 16 billion Bitcoins and you end the day with 16 billion Bitcoins. Oh, yes. Those Bitcoins might have moved through different hands, but it's still the same. Exactly. It's all recorded and it's all transparent. It's all easy to track and trace. So like, you can't see how much I got in my wallet. You can see
your transaction.
Hey, he just spent $1,000 here. He just gave Michelle A $500,000.
And we don't even know it's a he. They don't know
right.
who you are.
This number
They don't know none of. They don't know.
Make this transaction, right? Yeah, this number just sent but 50,000 Bitcoin to this number. We don't know who these people are. We just know money.
That's educated as we're talking to your wallet. And I'm liking that they use terms that can help it be understood. When we say wallet, just think of your wallet in your purse. That wallet, that's what your money is in your wallet. So if I want to send Michelle a coin and that coin worth $1,000, I say, okay, I'm gonna send you a coin. One coin is gonna go through the blockchain. They don't know Janice sent Michelle. It's peer to peer, you know. So great explanation. You did it better than me, but yeah, great explanation on the blockchain.
I got another question. I love this discussion because statement and a question. Sorry. But I love this discussion because you guys are really giving a high level, you're bringing it in, and really devil's advocate, so to speak. I'm the person on the other end that truly, I'm your person in the audience, that I represent that percentage of people that is not necessarily skeptic, but just doesn't simply understand. So it's great that you guys have this knowledge, and it's almost kind of great that I don't have the knowledge, right? I'm gaining it, so I'm asking simple questions. They seem like simple questions because I know I can't be the only simpleton out there that just don't get it. So this is my question. How do you spend it? So cryptocurrency, how do I go buy a pair of jeans or buy groceries for my home? How do I get to the point? Is this money spendable yet? Is this currency spendable yet?
Absolutely. Okay, before I tell you how, as people look into cryptocurrency and start investing, because that's what you're doing an investment, you're exchanging fiat for cryptocurrency. You have to be aware, you have to, like anything else, you have to do your research. Because like CORTEZ said in the opening, it's thousands of coins out there. And some of them are fluke. I'll call them, it's a term you're gonna hear called pump and dump. They're gonna create one, they'll get an influencer, somebody with 10 million followers, say, I'm gonna pay you to promote my coin. Everybody go buy that coin, then they sell it off. That's a pump and dump. So you want to get with a coin that has a business, an ecosystem, and things around it, so you can gain and now answer your question, use. So for me, I have my debit card, right? My cryptocurrency bank account has US dollars. I have some pesos in there. I have Bitcoin. I have Ethereum, and I have some other coins. So when I know I'm going to use US dollars, I just go to my account and I just switch over from the crypto to fiat. Just like you do almost like Cash App. You know how you can switch from Bitcoin to Cash App, on Cash App to US dollars? It's a flick of a button. And now, even with our company, we don't even have to do that extra step because the system is going to detect what you're using by the merchant that you're shopping from. So I don't even have to do that extra step. I just go swipe my card and buy what I want to buy.
So is it that you have this cryptocurrency? Can you go spend just the cryptocurrency like you do the fiat money, or do you have to make the transfer?
It's up to the merchants. So this is where that mass adoption come in. So you do have a lot of places, unfortunately, not a lot in St. Louis, but other places that's familiar into technology that say, I accept Bitcoin or I accept this coin. Then if they accept that, you ain't got to interchange it because that's money to money. That's peer to peer. You know how, this is how I used to tell people about life. Be looking now, when you go to the store and you see how they say, we accept cash, debit, EBT. When you start saying we accept cryptocurrency, we accept Bitcoin, that means, I can use my crypto in here.
Okay. It's the light bulb it's like the eat at Joe sign. It's like, it's coming on.
Yeah.
And so if I have both, and I have my accounts, I have my fiat money and which I just learned that's called fiat money. Look at God. So if I have both, if I go to the store and they only accept fiat, but I have cryptocurrency, I can, I look at it like I've traveled internationally, and I used to, if I go like India or Costa Rica and I have their money and I got US, if I visit one of native stores and they don't take US money, then I'm gonna use this. If I go where they take either, then I'm either convert it or use one of the others. So it's that same concept, it seems like.
It's the exact same concept. Like when you go out of the country, you stop at the airport, you do your exchange. That's the same thing. And like I say, and with technology, it's gonna make it easier. Because like with our car, we don't even have to do that step. We don't even have to go on our phone and say, oh, okay, I'm going to spend $200. Okay, let me take this and convert it. We don't have to do that. So as technology evolves, as they get mass adopted, you know they're going to make it more user-friendly. But as of right now, yeah, you got to do that one step. Well, what's that on the phone to log into your account? People do it all day on Cash App. I buy Bitcoin. Okay, I need it for cash. I switch it back. 2 clicks.
Yeah, so and I think one of the other things, think about this, Michelle, when it comes to this technology, and I'm not a big crypto person, right? I see crypto as an investment, and I'll be honest, 100% of all my investing dollars gets invested into my own business until I get that to a place where then when it's spitting out the money and the revenue that I want, then I'm going to take that and diversify that investment, right? But I do know this, try to cross the border with $10,000 cash and see what happens. Right?
Yeah.
But if I'm crossing the border, right? If I'm crossing the border with 10,000 in crypto, who knows? Nobody even knows.
Right, because it's in your wallet.
Because it's in my wallet.
Okay. What about so does this mean essentially you see the light bulb just came on? We almost got all the sign illuminated. So does that mean because what you just said, Cortez, a couple years ago I might have came upon some money, and I didn't know that if you get $10,000 or more deposited to your bank account, that automatically alerts the IRS. They get all the your business, right? And so with cryptocurrency, there's no risk of that. You can have as much as you need, and the government's not going, we want some of that, we want some of that. The money that you have in crypto is the money you have in crypto.
Just like we were saying earlier, I can say, I got $1 million. I'm Michelle. I did a transaction. I'm going to say $1 million. Michelle, what's your wallet address? Keep thinking of it like banking. You got deposit and withdraw numbers. What's your deposit number? Or what's your QR code? And I send you $1 million. I just sent you $1 million. Ain't no no.
And if I want to slowly transfer some of that from the cryptocurrency into my fiat, I can do it at a slower exchange, and there's no go ahead.
Well, you have to be careful because once when you're in crypto, you're safe. You don't have all that control. The moment you step back into the fiat federal system, you got to go oblige by all their rules. So when you say slowly, you can talk about $500 here, $500, that's fine. But when you start to move thousands of dollars, who want to nitpick with 10, 20, 100? Not for you want, but the moment you do, you back into their rules and regulations. So I want people to understand that you can't do the same thing with fiat and the federal government that you do in crypto. That's why crypto is a beautiful thing.
You have to look at it too from this standpoint. I can send you $1 million to your wallet. You convert that to fiat and you start living $1 million lifestyle, you still got to answer the Aunt Iris. Wait a minute, you only make $20,000 on your job. How you afford this? So you still got to answer questions about where that money came from when you make that conversion into fiat, right?
So it just takes more merchants and stuff. So I guess that goes back to my original question. We need more merchants, more companies to get on board with accepting it so that we get around that, because as long as they don't, we're going to stay in that. It seems like we're going to stay in that world of needing fiat money and having to be on the radar. How big, and this may be a loaded question, so we can bypass it if we need to. How big is the merchant, what's the word I'm looking for? How big is that merchant platform, space, for lack of a better term? How big is that space where, again, can I go buy a car with crypto?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Okay.
You can. I mean, how can I say this? It's not a lot of merchants here in St. Louis because we're so shut down and closed to it.
Gotcha.
But you go to San Diego, you go to California, you have places that accept Bitcoin. You can when you buy a house. Once again, you got to remember you can interchange it, like Cortez was and I was saying. Say the person you got the house is $500,000 and you got it in crypto. You let them know, hey, let the owner know that I got it in crypto. You know, I got it in Bitcoin or whatever, and see if they accept it in. They say, well, no, we want fiat. Then you will have to go ahead and do that interchange. But Cortez, as far as reporting, like if they ever do the audit of, okay, you just bought a $500,000 house or $1 million house. How'd you do that? Then that's the time you know, I'm a crypto investor. I invest in crypto. You know what I'm saying? Because they have not caught up on taxing crypto yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Will that ever happen, do you think? Well, okay. I asked my
question. Fight, Michelle. That's the fight.
That's why they're coming out with
That's why digital currency, if we can trip you up and you think you're buying crypto, but you're buying digital, now we're tracking everything if you don't know any better. So I think that's a huge
and Cortez, it's not buying the digital. I want people to understand, you're not buying the digital. They're going to incorporate it into the banking system. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to just get grandfathered into it. You're going to get forced into it. You're not going to know until you wake up and understand, like, oh, this is the digital currency that the system is charging. Because the system, the whole system, the QFS, the HSA, AHS, or how we pay bills, all that is going to switch to a form of digital. It's just changing the way things are just done. So you're not buying it. It's just you're going to be in your account, and now you're just under the digital platform on the blockchain. Everybody's going to come to the key thing is the blockchain.
Yeah.
The key thing is the blockchain. The blockchain is what we need as people. The blockchain, I know we're close to time. The blockchain is giving us our privacy back. The blockchain is peer-to-peer. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have hospitals. I always refer to the blockchain. This is my term. This has always been my term. Look at the blockchain as Internet 2.0. The internet of what we know today has been stepped on, spit on, kicked, and dropped. People hacking, spamming, doing all kind of stuff. So as technology evolves, don't you know they're going to have to change this internet? And the biggest thing people want is their privacy back. And that's what the blockchain is going to do. Now, it came out under cryptocurrency, under the monetary system, but everybody's going to be using things on the blockchain.
Yeah, it just makes sense to move that way. It makes sense to operate in that way because really you cut out all the middle people, and that's going to save a lot of people a lot of money. Because you think about it, for your house, for instance, if I just got a contract with me and Janice and I just want to buy her a house, I don't have to pay a title company. I don't have to pay a lender. I don't have to pay a realtor. I don't have to pay a gazillion people in between me and her transaction, right? And then the government is between all of those people and me in those transactions. So they want a little piece of every single transaction. So
great.
Janice, this has been an amazing conversation. I have to have you back.
Thank you.
Tell everybody how
touched on a little bit, y'all. We only touched on a little bit of it. So
I'm a little bit smarter, though. I'm a little bit smarter today.
Thank you. How they can connect with you outside of your website, if you got social handles you want to throw out there. But yeah, let everybody know.
Okay, before I even say that, I want to just humbly thank both of you guys for having me on your beautiful platform. I love it. But yeah, Jam Consulting STL is my website. It's a one-click stop. Once you go to my website, if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll find all my Facebook, my Instagram, my LinkedIn, my Twitter, all my social media platforms at the bottom of my website. So if you visit jamconsultantstl.com, you'll find me everywhere.
Love it. We've been listening to and learning from Janice Isabel. Is that right? Or Janice is able.
I gotta let my husband know they done switched up the pronunciation in the right way. Ain't nobody never broke it down like that, Michelle.
Janice is able to get you right with your crypto education. So
you really say marketing is everything.
Yes, ma'am. I know.
You guys all for tuning in. Until we talk to you next time, we want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. So hustle up.